Namaste, my sisters. I'm so excited to be recording this little video for you right here. I asked you a question in my women's circle about what you're most struggling with when it comes to money, and many of you have said that you feel like you don't have enough. And I'm really excited to speak to that right now. First of all, I'd love to know how you are all doing. I've just been on holiday for 2 weeks for my birthday vacation, and I had such an amazing time, and I had so much time to reflect on, this amazing life that I'm leading. And really, the only wish that I had was for you to be able to experience the same kind of abundance that I'm living in. I mean, I'm in the middle of nature. I'm in Bali. I spent half of that time on the beach. Many of you have seen the pictures. It was just incredible. And I ate the best food from this amazing French chef. And, I hired my own cook as well during that time, which is amazing. I have 8 employees now. And I really upgraded my home. I bought some really nice stuff, and I'm getting creative with making some paintings myself that you're gonna see going up there soon. And I feel so full. And today also I had a call with one of my amazing private business coaching clients, and it's just such an inspiring woman who's created so much already, and she's so ready to really look at herself and see where her limitations come from, and so willing to work with herself. And I'm just so proud of her and all of you for being willing to do this deep work. And that's really what I want to talk to you about right now as well, because if we want to change our reality around money, this is really what we need to look at, like not just the surface, but we need to go deeper. Now, it is lighting me up so much. This is really becoming more and more the biggest focus in my work to help women to create financial freedom for themselves. Because, the real motivation for me here is because I know the difference that it's going to make to you personally. Like this kind of life that I'm living right now, I want this for absolutely everyone in the world. But also I know how the money that you're going to make is going to end up supporting so many people, so many more people. It's going to end up supporting your family and your clients, even your friends. You're going to go on to inspire so many, and this money is going to help you to really literally change the world. So I really want to help you to make more. So the thing is, though, that I see many women feeling like victims when it comes to money, right? This feeling that, like it's the circumstances, that's why you don't have enough money, or it is your ex who doesn't give you child support, or anything like that, right? And if you know a little bit about my story, you can already know that that's all not true, right? I mean, I literally created a 6-figure business from nothing. I created it as a single mom. I had no income. I didn't even have a house for most of the time when I built my business. I had no child support either. I literally made it work, and I know that you can too. And I'm still not getting any child support from Lose That, and I don't need it anymore nowadays. You see what I mean? So you can literally, whatever the circumstances you're in, you have the power to shift your financial reality, like, from one day to the next. The power is within you, but only if you're willing to take that power. Many women have been scared off from stepping into their power since we were children. We've been told that it's men who have the power, and that we women, we shouldn't really say too much or do too much, this kind of thing. And it's subversive. It's not even it might not have been openly communicated to you, but we live in a patriarchal society, and these things are communicated to us all the time through so many different channels, right? The thing is, though, if we want more money, if we want to create financial freedom, if we want to create our lives and live our lives on our own terms, then we have to take responsibility, right, for our financial reality. We can't continue to blame others for whatever situation we are in. We have to be like, okay, I don't blame myself, but some part of me has created the situation that I'm in right now. It has served me in some way, and now I'm ready for something different. Because the thing really is that life always serves you. I want you to always remember that. The problems you have, they serve you. Like, a subconscious part of you has created them, and that part of you is looking out for yourself. Okay, you always get what you want in life. So I want you to take a look around at your life right now, at your financial reality, and really realize this is what the biggest part of you wants. Now, the problem is, though, obviously, that it might not be what the conscious part of you wants, right? But it means that if you see lots of things showing up in your life that you don't like, it means that there's a big part of you that you are not aware of, and that part of you is literally holding the steering wheel. So we need to not get rid of that part, but we need to tend to that part. We need to give it the attention and love that it needs. So let me give you an example from my life. I had the worst stomach ache of my life. I literally never get stomach ache. I have the best digestion in the world. And 2 days ago, I literally could not get out of bed. I had the worst stomach ache ever. It was like I had eaten a stone. The crazy thing is that I hadn't eaten much at all, and like only easily digestible things. So it didn't really make any sense physically. And of course, I always know that my problems are created on a deeper level, right? So I always, ask myself, okay, where does this come from? Like I used to in the past, when this kind of stuff happened, I used to catastrophize and be like, oh my God, like I have stomach cancer. My mom died from cancer, so I would think something horrible like that. Or I would be like feeling like it's the end of the world. Whatever happened to me, it always felt like the end of the world. And that's because when my mom died, it felt like the end of the world. So I would bring up that old trauma because I hadn't really addressed that trauma. So it would come up in these kinds of different ways. So I did a lot of therapy over the years, a lot of shamanic healing, of course. And now it doesn't have to, this trauma, particular one, doesn't have to show up like that anymore. But of course, it still influences me. And what this stomach ache really was, I realized, is me wanting to be taken care of for a change. Because, when my mom died, I started to take care of my baby brothers, and even my dad wanted me to take emotional care of him in a way. And it was really heavy on my shoulders. I also had all these expectations of myself. And to this day, I'm the one who takes care of everyone, right? Like I have a staff of 8 people, right? I have someone who cooks for me, someone who cleans for me, someone who takes care of my kid, like someone who drives the car that I'm in. I have all of these amazing things. And yet, it's not like, it might seem like, oh, wow, amazing. And it is. It absolutely is. But also it's a lot of responsibility again, right? I mean, I'm responsible for paying these people. They're literally, taking care of their families with the money that I give them. I'm responsible for organizing all of them to fit into my life in the way that doesn't make more work for me or more stress for me, but actually is something that creates ease for me, right? And it's not easy. In the beginning, it was hugely overwhelming for me, actually. And so what I wanted to say with all of that is that I was just overwhelmed. I just came back from vacation. There was a lot of work on my desk, although my assistant had done a great job for me while I was away, but still there were lots of things to attend to. My son was still on vacation, and the last trip that I took was actually not relaxing at all. I felt really overwhelmed there. I was like missing my dog, missing my own mattress. So I came home and I was kind of like exhausted, and I was like, okay, put the big girl pants on, go back to work. But there was a bigger part of me that was just needed someone to take care of me. That's what I really wanted. And of course, what happens, I get this awful stomach ache. And what happens is, my cleaner, who was supposed to clean at that time anyways, he took care of me since he was already there, right? Bringing me things since I couldn't really get up, bringing Lou things. Then the nanny came, was supposed to take care of my son, and she made me tea. And then my cook came, and I asked her to make special soup for me. And then I called Lou's dad, and he came and he opened a coconut for me, and he even brought me flowers. And he made those heating pads warm for me that are usually in the freezer to put on my stomach. And he gave me a big hug. And in that moment, I started to feel so much better because, I let others take care of me. And of course, if I had tended more to that part of me, part of my inner child beforehand, then I probably wouldn't have had to manifest a stomach ache. So this is an example. Now, when it comes to money, I ask you to ask yourself, what does where you are at with money, how does where you are at with money serve you? Okay. What part of you wants this exactly as it is? I really want you to go deep there, If you want to overcome your own limitations, you have to identify which part of you, that is creating that limitation, and what the primary need is there, and give that to yourself in another way. So, for example, if a part of your inner child, right, we have lots of inner child parts, associates money with stress and heartache because your parents used to fight over it, for example, then you're probably going to have a hard time attracting it because part of you doesn't actually want it. So it's time for some deep work here, right? And only once you've done that deep work, tended to your inner child, then you can take the action on what you really want to create with money. And you won't run against an invisible wall anymore, because obviously if you have that deep trauma somewhere deep down there and you put on your big girl pants and you just get in your masculine energy and you do all the work, then you're kind of like fighting against that other part of you that wants something different, that does not actually want to attract all that money, right? And that is really exhausting, and that's how people end up in a burnout, right? So we don't want that. So here's an example for something that many of you have been struggling with, right? I did that poll in the group, and you said, that you feel like you don't have enough money. So what is really going on energetically when you feel like you always just make ends meet? There's never any money left over at the end of the month. Like you don't have enough money to spend on everything that you want. Well, there's a lot of things that I could go over here. When that happens to you when it comes to money, well, money is mirroring back to you what you're feeling, right? So you're feeling lack. You're feeling, I don't have enough. And that's what you create, right? You don't create what you want, you create what you feel, right? And the most powerful way to come out of that is to shift your perspective, first of all, and to focus on noticing all the abundance in your life. Like a real life check is really good. If you have a device to watch this from and you have access to this kind of really advanced leading edge content, you are the elite of the world, the absolute elite. Like I live here in Bali, I see what poverty looks like every day, right? So reality check. Even, Lou's dad, he lives off like 300 euros per month here, which is the bare minimum you need to live off here. It's a completely different world from mine, but it is still, a different world from what most Balinese live on, right? So real life check, okay? You are abundant right now. And it's not just about the amount of money the amount of money that's in your bank account right now. Like, look at all the air you have to breathe. Look at the clean water you have to drink. Look at all your friends and family that you have to love. That is real abundance. That is energy. And money is also just an energy that supports you, right? We just make it out to be something else that it actually isn't. So noticing that abundance, practicing gratitude, that's a really, really good step to start stepping out of that victim mode and, really taking responsibility for yourself, for your life, feeling grateful, and doing amazing things. Like not letting yourself limit you. I mean, one of my clients is completely blind and she is doing my apprenticeship. It's like, how amazing is that? How easy would it have been for someone like her to feel, okay, I can't, this is a program that has videos, like, I am going to work with like clients, having them come into my home. I can't even see them. How easy would it have been for someone like her to limit herself and say, no, I can't be a healer and I can't study an online program. She didn't let that limit herself. Like she just signed up first occasion she got. I applaud that so much, so really real life check here. And of course, often we need to go deeper into healing our past because, when that not enoughness shows up in your life, it might also be a sign that you feel that you're not enough. So this could also be an issue of worthiness right there. And of course, we all have issues with worthiness. We all haven't received all the love that we wanted as a child. So again, inner child work is a really great thing to go into here. And also, of course, ask yourself this question, how is this serving me? Okay, maybe the inner child part of you wants to be taken care of. So it's convenient for you not to have too much money. Maybe you're afraid people will think that you don't need them anymore and you'll lose their love if you have more money. I was really scared of that when I was studying. I didn't get any financial support while I was studying, so I had to work next to my studies, and I would constantly feel stressed out about money, and I would talk to my aunt about it, and I felt like I would maybe lose that connection with her, the close connection that I had, closest thing I had to a mother, if I didn't feel so stressed, if I didn't need her, if I didn't need to call her all the time. Well, guess what? Nowadays, we're still just as close and we talk about nice stuff instead of me freaking out on the phone. So there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to money. And of course, it's not just about the inner child, it's about shadow work. It's about soul loss. It's about soul retrievals. It's about your beliefs, your actions, your behaviors, your stories. There is so much there on the deep levels and on the practical levels. And I have considered all of them. I have addressed all of that in when I created the Money Magic Mastermind, which is going to start on April 14th. So if you want help with addressing every single big wound from your past around money, to completely change your limiting behaviors around money, your beliefs when it comes to money, and to start creating a loving relationship with money, to bring ease and fun and play into making money, to identify your real desires when it comes to money, and to take the right aligned action that is actually going to manifest it for you fast in the form of clients and other windfalls from all kinds of unexpected sources, then I really invite you to join me in the Money Magic Mastermind. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's a small sacred container where you will get lots of my attention, and we will dedicate ourselves to changing your financial reality forever. This stuff is going to serve you your whole life and going to make everything so much easier. So, that money can finally be that energy that you love, that you feel loved by and supported by always. And this is really the first time that I'm going to share my own shamanic money practices that I have been doing for years. And this is really the most important, the most powerful work that I have ever created. It's absolutely life-changing. And for all those of you who have done any kind of work with me before, you know that shamanic yoga practices are super duper powerful and life-changing. And this work is really, really incredible. It's the creme de la creme of what I have created. So I'm really, really excited about sharing it with you. And I even have special scholarships available for some of you at the moment. There's a few more spaces left. Those are for all those of you who have not worked closely with me before yet. If you have not been in my apprenticeship, if you have not worked one-on-one with me yet, then this could be an incredible opportunity for you to work closely with me for a really small price tag. And this chance is going to go away in a few days' time, so absolutely reach out to me now. You can check out the Money Magic Mastermind at shamanicyoga.love/moneymagic, or just go to shamanicyoga.love. You're going to find the Money Magic Mastermind right there. And then just send me a private message to inquire about the scholarship if it applies to you, or just sign up. And I really look forward to going deep with you when it comes to all things money. And this is going to bring up so much other stuff. This is going to help you with business. This is going to help you with your relationships, because all the healing work that we're going to do is going to positively influence all your life. One private client that I worked with on her, just her money mindset we were addressing, she lost all the weight that she'd been trying to lose for 30 years. That's how deep this kind of work goes. This is not some on the surface kind of thing that we're doing here. This is the really deep stuff, and at the same time, it's going to be really, really fun. As always, I'm making this really enjoyable, and I look forward to everyone who's going to sign up. If you have any follow-up questions for me concerning the content that we have covered here, just let me know in the comments, and I'm sending you all so much love. Mwah. Bye-bye for now.